Welcome everybody. We're going to continue with the 5 element series, and today is air. So we're going to be doing a lot of positions that have to do with the air, basically flying animals of all kinds. So before we get into that, we're just going to land on the mat literally. So take a cushion, place it under the base of the spine or the coccyx or tailbone. Just make yourself comfortable, sit down into the pelvis and rest your hands gently on the knees. If you wish to, you can take a mudra position here, which is the first of the mudra, which is top of the thumb, top of the first finger together. This represents wisdom and knowledge. And then we're going to close the eyes. Today I would like you to be aware of the air flowing in and out of your body. Follow the air from outside your body, in maybe through the nose, and through the throat, down to your lungs, and then how it passes out of your body. At the moment, just fully aware of the flow of the air. Relax your shoulders just that little bit more and land on the mat so that the earth is supporting you fully. Allow gravity to allow the body to be pulled down towards the mat. Relax your chest, your stomach muscles. Feel the gentle movement of the body as we breathe. And coming up to the space of your mind. Finding the center point of this space, beyond your thoughts. Gently expanding the space. So if you have any thoughts, they simply become a little less important. Then when you are ready, slowly and gently opening the eyes. Welcome. Air is absolutely one of my favorite elements, and we can use it so extremely effectively because it is so deeply connected to the breath. So we will be doing some breath work today in some of the positions. Those of you, again, if you are used to the Yin Yoga, I'm very aware that Yin Yoga and controlled breath don't really go together. But in this particular element, I think I can get away with that. So we're going to come to the back of the mat and we're going to separate the knees. Of course, we can have a cushion between the legs or under the ankles as usual. And here we can also, if we want to, have support from bolster or cushions if we need that, if we're feeling particularly stiff, or just the knees are just a little uncomfortable today. It's okay to have that as well. And we're going to basically come forward with the hands until you can get the elbows to the floor. Try and keep the buttocks and the heels together, and then just bring the head gently down towards the mat. So this is a variation of child position. But it's sometimes called nest position. And the reason for that is that we can just make ourselves as comfortable as possible. So we're bringing all your cushions in and just sort of bedding down and nesting yourself. So we just relax. It doesn't matter really how far down you come into the position, as long as you're just nice and relaxed. So imagining this as nest position. Just gently coming down and allowing the body to completely relax. Just for a few breaths here, I'd like you to breathe deeply so that each time you inhale, you feel how this just gently lifts you away from the floor. And then as you exhale, how you sink back into the floor. And we can do this in two different ways. We can do this through the nose, or if you wish to, you can inhale through the nose and then exhale through the lips. Now, the advantage of doing that is the fact that you can control the length of the exhale with how much you have the lips together. Obviously, if the lips are wide apart, then there's no resistance, but if we do this and control with the lips, you'll find that you'll be able to lengthen the exhale. So if you're sort of wondering about how you should do this, well, you could start maybe by inhaling for 2 seconds through the nose and then exhaling 4 seconds out through the lips. And we can increase this depending on the flexibility of how much you can slow the breath down or not at the moment. And what's important, just like the rest of Yin Yoga, is to make no judgment at all of what you can do right now, as it has absolutely no relevance to what you can do later, maybe tomorrow or the next day or even a year's time. It only has to do with now. So we just make this as comfortable as possible. Just breathe in and out through the lips. Each time we take the breath out, I want you to watch how the body returns back down towards the floor and almost down into the earth beneath you. And as it lifts, as the inhale comes, you lift sort of away from the mat or up towards the sky above us. We can experiment here, seeing how long we can exhale by just gently using the lips, tightening the lips maybe just that little bit. This type of breath is extremely effective if we feel that we're hyper-stressed or have anxiety, or maybe we have a meeting that we need to go into, or we're going to need to focus a little bit more. It's an extremely grounding breath. In through the nose, out through the lips. Remember, this is not a competition to see how long you can make the breath. So don't try and find yourself in sort of ego state where you think, oh, I'm really good at this, I can breathe out for 20 seconds. Then basically you're missing the point of the exercise, which is just to let go and just feel how the body sinks down into the floor. And it doesn't really matter if one breath is 10 seconds out and the next breath is 5. It really doesn't matter. It's just the actual feeling of what's happening as you're breathing that is important. Lift up towards the sky. Sink down towards the earth. Now you might need to lift the forehead away from the mat and just replace it so that we can relax the neck. This is due to the fact that the shoulders tend to relax a lot. We can also lift the elbows, allow the shoulders to actually come forward and down towards the mat. So those of you new to the channel, you're going to find that in the Yin classes especially, I'm going to be saying that we should be moving if we need to just become just that little bit more comfortable. So it is a myth, as I've said before, that we're not allowed to move in Yin Yoga. This is absolute nonsense. Basically, it's just the important thing is to be as relaxed as possible and just let go of any responsibility for the relaxation. Just give that away to the earth, the space, the air. Good. So we're going to bring the hands back to the knees now. You can use the arms if you wish to come up. And we just gently come out of the position and up. And then we can bring the knees together in the center. Good. So we're now going to sit with the legs straight. So we're going to sit side, doesn't matter which side you go to. So in this particular case, I'm going to go to the left. You can use the left arm to just stop yourself falling over. And we're just going to sit with the legs straight. So just come down the mat. So as you bring in the feet to the end of your mat here. And we're going to come into a position which is called sitting swan. Sitting swan. So what I want you to do is place the hands on the mat with the fingers pointing backwards with both hands. And really at the moment it doesn't matter how far back you're leaning, as long as you have good contact on the mat. You can spread the fingers out a little bit, helps with the connection to the mat, or you can have the fingers together. It's entirely up to you. Now, we're going to place the right foot just above the left knee. So we're going to allow the knee to fall out to the side. And then we're going to bring the left foot in towards the buttock. So we're going to just slide the foot in as much as possible. So you might need to lean back a little bit to do that. Good. And just have the foot flat on the floor. Yeah. Good. Right. So basically we're just pulling the foot in and we just lean back into the hands. Relax the shoulders here so that you can feel that the arms are actually supporting you here. And I mean, seriously, if you have a position, if you need to come up, you can also hold the foot and just have the hand here and just come into the position and just, whatever is comfortable for you, basically. And just allow the knee to hang down on the right side. And we're using the arms to sink down into the shoulders. Head's going to sit on top of the position here. And we just breathe. You can keep the eyes open if you wish to. Again, watch the breath here. You're going to feel that the breath is very different in this position. You're still, of course, breathing in and out of the lungs, but the feeling in the body is very different. We're not lifting away from the floor in the same way as we were in the nest pose. Also, if it's uncomfortable, you can always move the foot just a little bit further away. It's not really a competition how much we can bring the foot in. It's just what is comfortable. It can be nice to sort of have some kind of picture in your mind about where you are sitting. Obviously, those of you in the room here, you're sitting in the room, but you might be sitting on the beach, looking at the ocean, the waves maybe, sitting in a forest or even a meadow, just enjoying the spring. The warmth of the sun on the body. Or if you're inside like we are at the moment, maybe just aware of the movement of the air in the room as it passes over your skin. And if you watch very carefully, you'll notice even that the air passes over your clothes. So the temperature of your clothes are actually different. Different parts of your body will be different temperatures. Even the contact with the mat, maybe the hands, fingers are nice and relaxed, toes relaxed. Good. We're going to gently release the position. We can do this by straightening the leg and then removing the other foot. And again, we can come into the other side. So maybe you want to bring the foot in first on the right side and then place the left, or having the leg just a little bit further away, or just pulling the foot in, as we said before, and just again leaning back onto the hands. So nice straight elbows here. We don't want the elbows bent, so it makes it very difficult for the shoulder blades. So we want the elbows straight here. Just relax down into the shoulders and relaxing, of course, the left hip. Again, noticing this difference in the breath. We're not sort of lifting away from the floor and sinking down towards the floor as we were in the previous position. It's a more open feeling in the breath. So we're just watching the inhale and the exhale. So when I'm saying watching the breath, basically we're watching the whole of the inhale. From the moment you start to inhale, the breath is changing all the time, the body is changing all the time. We get to the top of the breath and then we start to exhale, and again it's going to be changing all the time through the exhale. If you watch, there's just going to be just that little bit of space between the inhale and the exhale. Just before the body exhales, just before the body inhales, there's this little point of silence where nothing is happening. Good. We release the position again, so again we can straighten the leg, remove the foot, and we can come forward with the arms. We can just stretch the arms forward as well if you want to, and just working with the wrists maybe just to feel that extra fluid feeling in the body. Good. Okay, so we're going to come back to the knees at the back of the mat, so just as comfortably as possible. And this position we're going to do in several different ways. Now, we've already done this once before, and we've been using the blocks. So especially if you're new to this position, I would suggest that you do use the blocks. And if you don't have blocks, maybe using some books, or maybe 2 bolsters, or whatever is comfortable for you. And we're just going to come forward with the body so that we have the knees together in the center of the mat at the moment. And we just sort of find a position where we can lean down onto the block with both hands. So you can have the block like this or like this, but I would suggest not having like this because it makes the balance very difficult. So generally I would say long side to the mat. And then we're going to lift the right foot forward so that the toes are level with the front of the block. And here we just gently come forward with the left hip. So this is one of the variations that we can do. If you would like to come a little bit deeper into the stretch, you can take away the blocks and come down onto the hands, straight onto the mat. This of course increases the stretch on the left side, dragon position. And then again, if you want to increase, I'm going to move the block away here. If you want to once again increase the stretch in this position, as we become more advanced, we can then drop the knee out to the side. So the side of the foot's going to come onto the mat, hips open, and we're still leaning on the hands. And the last variation is the same position, but just coming down to the elbows. And how are you doing, Marlon? It's looking good. Yeah, it's nice.
It was feeling like you
yes.
wanted to
yeah.
fall away.
So allow the knee to fall out. That's fine. Absolutely. So as this position gets more relaxed, the hip opens. We come into what we call winged dragon. Good. So we can gently come up to the position, and we lift the knee back to the center. So I'm going to go through the variations again. If you wish to, using the blocks. So we start with the blocks, and we just sort of knees together in the center of the mat. We just find a position where we can lean onto the hands. Now we're going to lift the left foot forward, front of the block, front of the big toe, front of the block, and the big toe in a straight line. Here. So again, we find this position, and we just simply come forward so that I'm now stretching out the front of the right hip. Hip opener here. And again, even here we can start to let the knee just come out to the side if that's comfortable for you. And like I said before, if you want to come a little deeper into the position, fingers, top of the toe, straight line, again coming just that little deeper into now, of course, the right hip. And again, if you want to come a little bit deeper, and looking now to the side of the foot, allow the knee to fall out completely, and we come down to the elbows. And just allow the knee to come out to the side. Those of you that have been on the channel since I opened it, you know that the left side of my body is still quite stiff, so I'm feeling it more here than I did on the opposite side. So at any point we feel that right now it's a little bit too much, so we can just come back up to this position, or maybe it's too much, so we come back up onto the block. Like I said, you can move. Say, well, no, that's fine. Today, that's great. Yeah, that feels really good. That's how you should feel all the time. So it's not about competition of who can come deepest or who can stretch the most. In the Western world, we seem to be sort of fixated in the fact that we have to sort of overextend everything, and that's not really the point of yoga. The point of yoga is to become soft, flexible, and strong at the same time. That does not mean overstretching your muscles, right? It's not about sort of going to the gym and building muscles by breaking them. It's a slightly different thought. So we're not trying to break the muscles here, we're just trying to gently stretch them. So, good. So we're going to come out to the position. Fingers front of the toe in a straight line, and then we just lift the foot back, bringing the knees together in the center of the mat. And once again, we can come back with the buttocks towards the feet. Allow the hands to slide along the mat and up over the knees into hero position. Sitting, of course, on your cushion or between the legs. You can have a cushion between the legs and under the ankles, or, as we said in the beginning, sitting on the bolster between the legs. And just becoming as comfortable as possible. Good. So once again, we're going to sit to the side, and this time we're going to lie down onto the mat. So as I said before, when we come down to the mat, we want to do that as lazily as possible. So basically coming down to one elbow and then sliding the elbow away so that you come down onto the mat. Good. All right. So we're now going to bring the left, my bad, sorry. For those of you that are new, you can have cushions or the bolster here. And we're going to, I'll do that with you. So we do that. We can move it out of the way at the moment just so you can see. So it's on the right side of the mat. So we're going to bend the right knee. So we're going to bring the foot to the inside of the left knee. And then we're going to cross the upper legs. Here we can have the bolster. And we're just going to drop the left knee out. And you can keep the right knee bent as we come into this position. And just bring the arms straight out from the sides of the body and look at the moment straight up towards the top of the room. And here we have twisted root, as it's often called in Yin Yoga. But it's also, you have the legs also in a very similar position as we have in the eagle position, in the standing positions, for example, in Hatha Yoga. So we can also call this eagle legs. And again, as I said before, you can use Sanskrit names, you can use, the official names of the position, or you can you just make up your own names. It's not important what the position's called, it is how it feels that is important. So maybe if you've been looking at the top of the room now, you can then lift the head and look to your left hand. If you want to just come that little bit deeper into the stretch or the rotation through the spine. Good, so we come back up to the center and we uncross the legs, place the feet together in the center. Take the bolster over to the other side of the mat. And we cross the right leg over the thigh. Allow the lower leg to just hang down. And we just allow now the right knee to drop out to the bolster. You'll notice also that the left knee is still bent. We check the arms are 90 degrees out from the shoulders. And again, we start by looking towards the top of the room here. You can also have a cushion under the head if that is a little bit more comfortable. And you're going to feel this stretch is really nice for the lower back here. And just feeling this opening feeling around from the lower back and into the hip and into the upper leg here. So in the beginning we can spend about probably the first 1.5 minutes looking at the top of the room, and then we can just gently lift the head, looking now to the right hand. So these hip opening positions, extremely good. Again, focusing on the breath, the air passing in and out of the body, and the movement of the air. If you're outside, maybe there's a gentle breeze, or the ventilation if you're inside. And it's occasionally there's no movement at all in the air. Maybe you're just aware of the air against your skin, maybe a difference in temperature. Just occasionally you'll notice that I go quiet during Yin Yoga. It is actually quite nice to just spend some quiet time in the positions. Just experiencing everything. Support from the ground, the breath, the stillness. And then we can bring the knees back up. Uncross the legs and bring the feet together in the center. We can bring the arms along the side of the body here, and we can gently push the left heel out to the corner of the mat and then the right heel. And here we can place the hands under the head and just rest the shoulders. It's nice and relaxed. Relax the hips just that little bit more. You might find that the feet fall out just a little bit more to the sides. Knees are nice and relaxed. You can rock the hips if you need to, just to relax the lower back just a little bit more, and then completely just allow the gravity to support your body. Good. So we're now going to bring both feet in towards the buttocks. And it doesn't matter here whether you roll to the right or the left. In this particular case, I'm going to roll to the right. So I'm just going to come out. You can stretch out the right arm. You can bring it out 45 degrees. So you can just rest your head on your arm, or you can use a pillow. Whatever's comfortable for you. And we're going to place the left hand into it. So don't get too comfortable over there. Left hand in front of the chest and just gently push as we come up from the mat. Good. It's very easy to fall asleep in you. It's like, oh, this is so nice. So make as much space as you need around you when you're practicing the yoga, especially the Yin Yoga. A little bit early for that sound. Right, okay. So we're going to come into a position now which is called seated eagle arms. Now here it doesn't really matter if the legs are crossed, if you're on the knees. I'm going to give you several different variations. So if you're particularly stiff in the knees, then it can be in this position. You can also have support under the thighs, and cushions or bolsters, whatever you want, or even maybe an easy lotus position or half lotus, for example. Personally, I like to do this position on the knees. So if you wish to, you can come up to the knees. Otherwise, sitting, please, with the legs crossed. What's important is that you are completely comfortable. And then we're going to take a bunch of books or a block. For those of you new to the channel as well, we do use these. They're basically available pretty much anywhere. And we're going to just place that against the long side of the mat here. And we're going to use this in a minute. So we're going to come to, like I said, this position which is called eagle arms. So, and it doesn't really matter at the moment how you do it. I'm going to show you first the position and how it looks. So I'm just going to cross the arms. I'm going to reverse the hand and bring it on the inside and then twist the arm. Now, this is actually quite confusing in the beginning, and then I'm going to come forward, bringing the elbow down and just looking straight forward. This often in the beginning is not possible. So let's say that we're particularly stiff in the shoulders here. So what you can do instead is just to cross the arms and allow the body, the arms to just come down towards the chest. You're going to feel this in the lower back and the upper back. What's happening is the shoulder blades are just coming around the sides of the body, or not literally of course, but just separating. And it's nice to get this little bit of extra space here. So we can cross the arms and just drop them. Otherwise, we cross the arms at the elbows, lift the hands up. In this particular case, we have the right arm under, so I'll give you time to adjust that. Right arm under, good. All right. And we're looking at the, so I would do this, just do that one. Yes, good. All right, good. All right, so the right arm's under, left arm's above. Now, you'll notice that the right hand is below the left hand. This is the left hand, of course. So we're going to reverse the right hand. So you think right hand, reverse. So the palm of the hand comes out or away. So now we're looking at the back of the hand. And we're looking at the inside of the left hand. Left hand. We place the fingers of the right on the inside of the hand. And then we rotate the wrist. So this brings it into the center. And here we can again allow the elbow, to come down towards the chest here. And we're going to feel this separation of the shoulder blades behind the back here. And then for those of you that want a little bit of a deeper stretch, we can bring the elbow all the way down to the block. And just look forward. And don't forget to smile. So really we're just allowing the shoulders to come forward in this position. And as always with yoga, then often there's a balance between the right and the left side of the body. One side is always easier than the other. And it doesn't matter how advanced you are, that is just the way it is. And then basically you're looking for any kind of extra tension that you might be feeling somewhere and just releasing that just that little bit more. So just sinking down onto the elbow and just that little bit more. Or elbows in towards the chest, as I said, or having the arms in this position and just allowing the chin to come down towards the chest as well. Same if the legs are crossed. And we release the position. So, if you've been on the knees and you think, well, that's enough on the knees, then of course you can come down and have the legs crossed instead. Or do this in a half lotus. So I'm just going to change this so you can see that it can be done in different positions. Good. To work out which arm is which. Okay. So I'm just going to change sides here. So you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to come into a half lotus on the left side. I'm also going to have my block in front of me. Now if you remember, the right arm was across the front of the body first. So we're going to left arm. Right arm comes over the top. And we're looking now at the left hand, which is under the right. You're looking at the inside of the hand, or the palm of the hand, and we just turn that hand, so you're now looking at the back of the hand, placing the fingers on the inside of the palm of the right, and then rotate. Coming down, of course, onto the block, if you are comfortable to do that. Again, here, if you're crossing the arms, we then of course do it in the opposite direction. So we have the opposite direction. So we have one side, which is going to be like this, and the other side like this. And it's the same here. We're allowing the shoulder blades to just come around the back here. Either this side or this side. If you're sitting in this position, sit down into the pelvis, allow the elbows to come down to the chest, and maybe even dropping the head if you wish to. What's important here is just to feel the shoulder blades just separating a little bit out towards the sides. Okay? And watch the breath as it comes in and out of the body here. The deeper you breathe here, the more you're going to feel that relaxation around the shoulder blades. And this tension is actually quite difficult to get to if you're sitting, for example, in front of the computer a lot. It's an extremely good position for releasing that tension. So just for these last few seconds, I'm just going to explain something as well. It doesn't really matter if you're completely new to the channel and you've never done this position before and you're thinking, well, how the heck am I going to get to that position? It doesn't really matter because we're just doing it 1 millimeter a week. When I started doing yoga, I was extremely physically handicapped. And in the 26 years that I've been teaching yoga, I've never met anybody who was as handicapped as I was when I started. So, and that's saying something considering I've met thousands and thousands of people. So if I can do yoga, anybody can do yoga. It doesn't matter if you're stiff as a plank or as flexible as a rubber band. It all comes down to just what you can do and nothing more. Good, so we gently release the position. And of course we can remove the block. Good. All right. So we're going to now face the long side of the mat, and we're going to come into a position which we were actually discussing just before the class. So if anybody inside the room or out there in the internet would like to name this position, then you're very welcome to do so. The consensus of opinion before the class was we're going to call this dodo position because I have no idea what it's called and I can't find it. So right leg out, left foot in, and we come down the right leg with the right hand and just to a position where you feel comfortable. If you can take the fingers between the toe and just hook the toe with the fingers. You place the opposite hand or the left hand on the left knee and we're just going to relax. But we're going to use the bolster. So again, this is another prop that I encourage you to buy. And we just sort of make a sort of little pillar of this. And left hand on the knee, good. Yes. We catch the toe or just bringing the hand to where you can come forward to. Might be the knee at the moment, doesn't really matter. Just come down so you can just feel that little bit of stretch, no more. And then we rest the head onto the end of the cushion or the long cushion or bolster or what we have called it. So try and relax. Left elbow, right arm's relaxed, right shoulder's relaxed, head onto the top of the bolster. So if you're watching the class and you think there's some kind of position, that maybe you look like a specific type of bird or an animal, or maybe you look like a beak or a tree, I don't know. Drop it in the comments. And maybe we adopt it. So very important here, we just relax down onto the bolster with the forehead here. Going to be heavy in the right arm. Doesn't matter if the hand, as I said, is in this position. Still heavy in the right arm from the shoulder. Left, nice and relaxed. It reminds me a lot of restorative yoga, where we use this kind of prop as well, and it's really quite nice. I was practicing this earlier during the week and was thinking, well, I still can't think of what this position should be called, but maybe it's dodo position, I don't know. dodo pose. Has a nice ring to it. Good. So we gently release that side. Can let the cushion fall over. And of course we now move the left foot out to the left corner of the mat and right foot to the inside. We catch the toe again or the leg, so maybe the hand only comes here, it doesn't really matter. You take the bolster, you put it on the end, flatten it down a little bit so you can just stand there. Good. Right hand, right knee, and head onto the forehead. Just relax. Right elbow. As I said, doesn't really matter right now if the hand is at the knee. Still just coming down onto the bolster in a position that's comfortable for you. Good. So what's happening there is that you have rotated the shoulder a little bit. Marlin, you've rotated the shoulder. When we hold the toe in that's better. You see, open the shoulder, and that way it's sort of much more comfortable. If you close the shoulder, it becomes quite a lot of tension here. So try and open the shoulder. Allow the shoulder to actually drop as well on the left side here. Good. That's much better. And it doesn't matter if the knee is a little bit bent. Maybe we have the knee up here and we're still holding the toe. We're just doing the dodo position like this. It really doesn't matter. Because if we're increasing with, let's say, 1 millimeter a week, then maybe we're going to be in this position just a little later. And then after that, maybe we have the elbow on the knee. But what's important is that we are just relaxing. Good. And we gently release the position. Got any ideas? Nope. Seriously, drop it in the comment if you have any idea what it doesn't really matter if it's a comical name either. It would be good. Don't have to take anything too seriously in life. It's quite important. Good. All right, so we're going to come to the next position. And we have reclined windscreen wipers. Okay. So we're going to come down again to the mat in a comfortable position. Make sure you have some cushions here, reasonably close, and just sort of slide down onto your mat. Good. All right. Center mat. And now we're going to bring the feet to the sides of the mat. So you can look down the side of the mat. You can place the left foot there. And then we look down the right, and we place the right foot there. And here, if you want to, you can have a bolster out to the side or not. It depends on, or cushions. You can always have those as well. Maybe you have a cushion under the back of the head. Again, we're going to stretch the arms out from the shoulders, and then we're going to drop both knees out to the right. So imagine windscreen wipers here. So we're going to drop to the right. So we just allow that to come out. And again, we have this wonderful stretch into the lower back here, and we're just allowing the weight, especially the weight of the left leg, so the knee is being gently pulled down towards the mat with the gravity from the earth beneath you. We're nice and relaxed on the right side. If this is, again, too much at the moment, then take the bolster, place it under the knee on the right side, and allow that position. So, like I said, what's important is that you can relax completely. So again, here we can start by looking towards the top of the room. For those of you who've been watching my instructions on breath work, we can use this position. We can use the Ujjayi breathing or the ocean breath. And just breathing through the nose, just with the sound of the breath, and just imagine the ocean waves, maybe the sound in your head. So close the eyes and just use this controlled breath. Again, with each exhale, just feeling how we just get that little bit more relaxation. For those of you who don't know about the ocean breath, we have breath work on the channel as well, so you can go in and look at that. So just to breathe normally if you don't know what ocean breath is, or Ujjayi breathing. You can look towards the right hand, or if you wish to, you can look towards the left. So full rotation again through the spine. Good. So we don't stay in the position too long. We're going to come back up. And here we can, if you want to come up in a different way, if it's too much for the knees or the hips, I can show you a different way to come up, and that's to bring the left knee forward to your right knee. Bring the left hand in front of the chest and gently come up from the mat. This is if you have any problem with the hips at all. Maybe you have an overextension in the hips, or some discomfort in the hips, or maybe you just have problem in the lower back and the hips. So there's a lot of different ways of coming up and out of positions. So again, we come down to the mat. Once we're up, returning to the mat, again, we now look to the left side of the mat. Good. Place the left foot. Right side of the mat. Arms out to the sides. Guess what? We go to the left. Drop the left knee out. Right knee comes up. We feel this wonderful stretch here, front of the hip. It's just a beautiful position. Let me just rest here. And again, we can look towards the top of the room, to the right hand or to the left. The left is often the most comfortable in the beginning, and then as we want to increase this rotation, we look to the right hand. So again, using Ujjayi breathing or the ocean breath. So breathing through the nose, just close the eyes. Just imagine the sound of the waves maybe coming onto the shore or up a beach and then out again. It's not a storm, it's just a nice sunny day. It's a gentle ocean breeze. Just again feeling this as we exhale, how we sink down. Just the Earth's gravity just gently taking more and more responsibility for the relaxation. Good. Then, of course, we're going to gently come up. So if, again, you want to come up in a relaxed way, we just move the right knee out to the left knee. Place the right hand in front of the chest and just gently come up from the mat. And coming back to the center of the mat. Yeah, exactly. So as lazily as possible. So each time we come up from the mat, you can also be conscious of how the body does not actually want to leave the floor. It's actually a really nice feeling. It's that sort of little bit of feeling like it's a cold winter morning and you just want to stay in bed just that little bit longer. That feeling, it's really quite nice. Good. So we're going to come to the last position today, and we're only going to be in the position for about two or 3 minutes. It's Savasana, but it's a little different. So just again coming down to the mat as lazily as possible. Feet to the corners of the mat. Arms 45 degrees out from the body as we come into Savasana. We can have a cushion under the head here. And then we're going to bring the hands in. So it doesn't matter which is which. In my case, I'm going to place the right hand onto the chest and the left hand onto the stomach. And I'm going to close the eyes, allow the feet to fall out to the sides. And I just want you to watch the movement of your body as the body breathes. So again, we're following the air into the body and out from the body, but at the same time feeling what's happening in the left hand and the right hand, and just the general movement of the body as we breathe. So closing the eyes, and we're going to take a couple of minutes just silence here as we watch the breath. Want the breath to be as silent as possible so we don't disturb the mind with sound. So although ocean breath is very effective, it does actually distract from the space of the mind. So just let go of any sound, any control. You just watch this beautiful, life-giving process of body breath. And we gently release the hands back to the floor. And here we can either lie in Savasana. If it's more comfortable for you to sit, then you can do that as well. It doesn't really matter for this meditation. Maybe a cushion under the head, a blanket over the body to keep the heat or the warmth of the body in. Maybe have a bolster under the knees to help the lower back relax just that little bit more. So just being conscious of your body lying on the floor and the support from the back of your heels through the whole body to the back of your head. Today we're going to have the meditation without the distraction of music, as we want to be completely aware of the breath and the air as it passes in and out from the body. So at the moment, just feeling the gentle rise and fall of the body as you breathe. Landing gently into the space and the silence. This meditation is called the breath that carries you. Being conscious of the body lying on the floor. And that the arms are in a position that allows your chest to be fully open. Let it feel like space. Let it feel like possibility. If you haven't already done so, you can close your eyes. Again, conscious of the breath. Not controlling it in any way. Just witnessing the breath. Air moves on its own. You don't have to control it. Just allow and follow with the curiosity of an innocent child. Now take a long, slow inhale through the nose and exhale slowly and gently, controlling the speed again with your lips. Just as we did earlier. Inhaling gently through the nose and exhaling between your lips. Gently lengthening each exhale as you dissolve deeper and deeper into stillness. Let the next breath connect you with the air that surrounds you. Know that each breath you take is the first breath of the rest of your life. Each thought is the first thought of the rest of your life. Each heartbeat, the first heartbeat of the rest of your life. Now begin to feel the air around you with a deepening awareness. The gentle touch of the air encourages your skin to listen and interpret the language of connection and the sensations of the world that surrounds you. Air is the element of change, of movement, of growth that comes not through effort, but through readiness. feel and welcome the air into your body, with every inhale filling you from the inside. As you exhale, letting go of anything that serves no purpose and carries no meaning for you. And release what no longer needs to stay. Now bring your awareness to the internal space beneath your ribs, your lungs, your heart, the home of the breath. This is where the air element lives inside you. Like the trees in springtime, this part of you is always ready to blossom and grow. Create now an air-filled space in your mind, light and refreshing. Now imagine yourself standing in a spring meadow. It is morning and you are surrounded by gently moving grasses and fragrant wild flowers. The touch of sunlight on your skin. The trees, just like you, are just beginning to bloom. A soft breeze moving effortlessly through the leaves. Light gently dances like starlight through the droplets of the early morning dew. The air is alive, but peaceful. There is a freshness to it, like something new is about to begin. A warm, gentle breeze moves across your chest, awakening a quiet space within you. The space of your heart, surrounded by endless shades of springtime green. Feel the endless shades of this color, connecting you to a sense of balance, compassion, and infinite joy. With every breath, let your heart space open just a little more. Not by effort, but by allowing that warm breeze to remind you that freedom begins with openness. Let your body breathe with the meadow. Now ask yourself gently, without pressure, where am I ready to grow? What is stirring beneath the surface? What is asking to be released? Let the answers rise naturally, both from the mind and from the body. Let that same warm breeze draw away what you no longer need to carry. Let it open up a path. Let it expand the space of your mind. Now bring your awareness to your shoulders, your jaw, your throat. If there is any tension, imagine the breeze passing through that place or places, softening, releasing, reviving and healing. You don't have to force anything. Air does not push. It always moves to the places of least resistance. Let the breath guide you gently into expansion. Not all at once, but moment by moment. You are exactly where growth begins, in the quiet space between your breaths, between what was and what will be. With your eyes still closed, slowly begin to return to the physical body. Feel your breath again passing through your nose. Cold air in and warm air out. Be conscious of your fingers. Bring awareness to your toes and feet. Feeling the warm and familiar embrace of the earth as it holds you. Allow yourself to drift deeper and deeper into silence and knowing that you belong. Bring your hands to your heart, or let them rest open beside you. Let your feelings guide you. Whichever you choose, whisper softly to yourself, so the element of air hears you. I choose to grow. I welcome guidance from the wind. I trust the direction it takes me. And when you are ready, slowly and gently opening the eyes, with a soft focus in your eyes, returning to the space that you are in. Step forward every day with air as your companion and the support under your wings. Namaste. Gently returning to your day in your own time. And just taking this extra little bit of space and air with you as you come up from the floor or the mat, or if you're outside, wherever you are. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you next week for the final element, Ita. Bye-bye for now. Have a beautiful week.